Hello folks, welcome to another daily Bitcoin market analysis by Inspocrypto. Today it's a very special day. It's a very sad day, but I'm also happy. Just few minutes ago I received the confirmation by Substack that they successfully disconnected my Substack account from Stripe. Means no one will charge you anything anymore on Substack related to Inspocrypto's newsletter. I have the confirmation, so in case Stripe will continue, then tell me. Anyway, also as mentioned, and that would be part of the process, I have an Excel sheet now where I can see when you paid your last renewal or subscription and when it would expire. So just as an example, I have, and thank you very much for that, I have a very loyal subscriber, yearly one. He paid even the founding subscription. It was the $210 yearly subscription fees. He paid twice. And if I check, then he would still have 197 days until his subscription expires. So if he is watching, but also for all of you, I will do exactly the same calculation for every single account and subscriber. And you will receive those 197 days in case of this particular case on Phoenicia, with special features, with a lot more stuff, and obviously with the analysis. So it's a very sad day because, a chapter just finished today. But I'm looking forward for what is coming next. And that's for me a very good day, because from now on I can focus more and more on Phoenicia. Soon we will spread and share more information about what you can expect. We will have a big database with all available trading indicators in 3 different languages. And I'm not talking about languages like English, Spanish, or German, because it will be available in many different languages anyway, but about depending on your skills. You know that many of you are trading since a long time, so many of you know many indicators and they know exactly how it works. Then we have those who are relatively new in crypto and trading in general, and they know, or I would say they have an average and middle skill. And then you have those who are always making questions like, could you explain that like I would be 5 years old? Well, that's going to be part of it. I mean, the big highlight will be we will just take every single indicator available out there and explain this indicator so that in different skill languages, so you will absolutely get what this indicator does. Because part and the goal of Phoenicia will be to be a platform for analysts and obviously for those who want to watch their analysis, but at the same time maybe to be the next analyst, to have all tools available, not only on-chain data, not only like a Wikipedia with videos, tutorials, how those indicators work in different skill languages. At the same time, we will bring also a market for indicators you can add to your trading view, for example. So a lot of stuff will be part of Phoenicia, and that's only the Phoenicia Academy part. We will also will make interactive. That was something, how many time I spent on Twitter discussing with you guys, and that's something I'm missing. I'm missing because I was involved not only with my full-time job, and obviously I have a private life, but those every single day making, recording a daily analysis, you need to spend a lot of time with that. Now many of you will disagree and say, but I was happy with the information, the stuff you were providing. But yeah, we did that. We did that for more than 1 year. I mean, I started almost 1 year and 8 months ago providing this analysis. But it's time to scale it. It's time to make it better. It's time to give you the tools not only to follow an analyst, just to verify with all the tools available that what he is saying is right. And we will cover absolutely everything, from option markets to future markets, understanding on how institutional trading works, to understand even better what whales do, for example. And it will be a platform from an analyst like me for analysts, to give them a space, a platform where they can share their analysis with a very critical audience, because they will have absolutely every single tool to verify if what you are doing is good or not. And we will expand Phoenicia. That's just the beginning. And I will also, obviously, because it's my passion and many of you knows that, I will obviously keep providing my analysis. So all of you, those who still have days left of their subscription, will receive a full access to Phoenicia, obviously for free. That's the deal. And that's a gentleman deal, indicating I gave you my hand, give me yours, and let's do it. And I look forward. That's the good part of this initial comment. But obviously, Substack was hard. It wasn't easy just to finish this chapter, but on the same time, it was very close to me for more than 1.5 years, and it's not easy at all. Anyway, we need to make it better. We need our own platform, because Phoenicia Academy is just the beginning. The next step is Phoenicia Finance, and that is going to be even better. So we stopped to make any kind of promotion. Everything you heard, you will see on a roadmap, you will see on our website that will be launched shortly. And when I'm saying shortly, I'm not talking about 24 hours or 48. It will take, because I'm also going to make some vacations soon. So I will take a pause of almost 2 weeks. But within those 2 weeks, we will prepare the launch. And when I'm back, we will launch the website with all these informations. And while we are still working very hard on Phoenicia Academy, and as mentioned, when Phoenicia Academy, at least all that what you will see on the roadmap is done, we will start to work on Phoenicia Finance. And we will make something that's going to be completely different of what many are expecting. I told you that I'm looking forward for tokenized funds. I'm not going to make much more about that, but it's going to be, at least in my opinion, because that's the goal, to make the most secure with the most safest collateral crypto asset in the market. I'm not talking about any stablecoin, just to make it clear. So anyway, it sounds a lot of stuff, so we will start with Phoenicia Academy. That's the first thing we will do. That's the first milestone we need to accomplish, and we will do it now with even more manpower, with more Inspocrypto time. And I look forward, while now I can also spend more time on Twitter just to provide more ad hoc analysis. But as mentioned, I will keep providing the full version analysis for all you. Substack said it's not any problem. The only thing that changed now is that you are not going to pay for your subscription anymore. So no one can charge you anymore. I can keep providing you the analysis just for free. And that's absolutely fine. And that's what we are going to do. So in my opinion, it's a win-win. And yeah, I have received some DMs of you just saying that you look forward for Phoenicia and you are wondering a little bit why I'm going to keep providing the analysis now, even for without any fees and money. But that was the beginning of Inspocrypto. You remember I was providing my analysis for free on Twitter, and then we switched to Substack, and now we are just going to have a transition where it's just for free, and afterwards we all will launch Phoenicia Academy. And I'm looking so forward, because we are working hard on it, and it's not easy. Absolutely not, but I look forward. So let us start with the daily analysis, and yeah, that's it for today's initial comment. So then let us go forward and check what is happening here in the market. The weights ratio. What is the weights ratio doing? The weights ratio 1 day time frame the day before. So we are talking, today is Wednesday. So Monday it dropped relatively hard. So it bounced at 40. Yesterday we did 48, almost 49. Let me check. It was 49 exactly. So we need to see what happens today. I guess it dropped once again, so indicating that the trend now is going down. Doesn't mean we are done. It just means they are sending less bitcoins, and it matches very well to even to the outflows from miners. What a big surprise. So that's at least what the weights ratio 1 day time frame is indicating. If we check the weights ratio 72 hours moving average, and even the weights ratio, the stablecoin reserves on centralized exchanges, we can see that it looks a little bit different. So first of all, we start to receive some stablecoins here, and close before we started to push up, we received another 130 million. So they were accumulating a little bit stablecoins on centralized exchanges. Now they are taking profit, it seems. So they are just taking out some stablecoins. Also here, it's something once again indicating they were just, programming or planning this push up. I have said that was one scenario, while I still think it's going to be a very limited lift up. and they were weights ratio 72 hours moving average has touched 91%. That was very high, where I said that means we should go once ago. So I was just telling that I would expect something like to visit 25k. We didn't 25k exactly, so if we check, we did almost 25,300 to move up once again, and that's what we did. Right now we are declining once again. Everything looks very unchanged, at least in the basic of on-chain data. Nothing looks like, hey, that's it from here, 40k, at least yet. So that's what we need to check next. So let us go forward and check what the liquidity analysis is going to show us. So I refresh and we see that the daily is negative. It was extremely positive today, indicating they sent a lot of bitcoins, and then they started to absorb. They also started to take out a lot of bitcoins once again. So we can see everything flip back to green, everything. And we see also here it was red, and then once again it started to show green. Also here we can see also here that they pushed up buying, but they are not really selling, while the Bitcoin balance on centralized exchanges is still declining more and more and more and more. That's the big question. What exactly is that is happening here? Is that really just the preparation for the next big bull run, or is that just the next trap? That's something we need to see. As mentioned, Live Net Flow Premium is showing us the in and out flows from spot exchanges, and that's the net flow, the delta between inflows and outflows of bitcoins on centralized exchanges. If we check that, it looks bullish. The question is that really bullish, or are they hiding something like a bank run because they know something big is going to happen with Binance or some other big exchanges, or even a stablecoin? You remember what he said, mentioned in a tweet about pegs, about stablecoins who are not really stable? We will see. Something is still in the air. So, and our mission is to find out what exactly is happening. So if we go forward now to Ink Block, we see once again 500 millions in crypto, but only 35 millions taking out. So indicating, yeah, it keeps being bearish. Also here indicating it looks like preparation, but at least when we talk about fiat, it doesn't look that bad. You can see in the last 12 hours, 635 millions in, 645 millions out, 550 millions in Bitcoin in, 472 millions out. So, and yeah, obviously the market is in fear. I have said next short squeeze, then again a long squeeze, you remember. So today we are expanding a little bit the green line or the green bars today with 2% on Bitcoin, and on Ethereum 2.64%, while the fear and greed index lifted up a little bit. So it doesn't, I guess, even if we go and touch 27k or 27.5, for example, to retest that area, we will be in greed again. But that's obviously just a theory at the moment. So I want to see what's happening here. So Binance indicating 1 month inflows still unchanged. In the last 24 hours, only 77 millions. Spot volume lifted up. If you remember, we had almost 2.4 billions and 2.2 billions in 24 hours. And now we are talking about 3.5 billion, so not that bad, while 24 hours open interest still declined, obviously. I mean, 6.8 billion compared to the 3.5 billion looks better, but it's not an excellent ratio, still not. OKEX a little bit positive, but in the last month it looks relatively negative. Bitfinex positive, Bybit positive, Huobi, Justin Sun's exchange with 107 millions positive, while KuCoin with minus 150 millions negative, and so on and so forth. So from here, also nothing big changed, it seems. If we check here, I guess we are in favor of purchases. Yeah, unusual whales is indicating that crypto whales are in favor of buys instead of sells. They are also indicating that the main purchase power, or volume at least, is coming from the BTC-USD pair on Binance, obviously, with 95.9% of the whole market volume. BTC-USD 4.1% lifted up a little bit. BTC-USDC absolutely well. And BTC-USDT lifted a little bit up from my Monday analysis, but not that much. However, Bitfinex 4.1% declined, or is I would say even unchanged since the last analysis as well. And that's mainly it. What we can see and check is the stablecoin. In the last month, it looks like that even USDT maintains the level of 82.8 billions, and even TUSD declined a little bit. It's still maintaining 2.75 billion, and that's almost it. Now let us go forward. So if we check now futures, if we check the aggregated chart here, it's indicating since we reached the 25, this huge candle that just touched almost 25k, where we were just demanding more shorts. Then afterwards the market flipped again in favor of longs. Still the aggregated funding rate is at 0 at the moment, indicating it's neutral. We have the same demand for longs like the same demand for shorts, but the trend is more hitting the longs. If we check the open interest, it's declining more and more. As you know, this data is delayed by 24 hours, indicating that they liquidated yesterday 650 bitcoins and longs and 212 bitcoins and shorts. Leverage ratio also declining, indicating they were just liquidating high leverage positions here. If we now go forward and we check the blockchain whispers, we see that it's at least the ratio looks a little bit better now, but 1.5 billion versus 800 millions and shorts, it's not in favor of bulls in my opinion, because you know what the market does, usually the opposite of that. But at the moment it just declined a little bit in longs, it's lifting up a little bit more in shorts. Interesting what on Bitfinex is happening, 2.5 billions in longs, but look, 32 millions in shorts. And yeah, I have said, after we had this long squeeze, I would expect a short squeeze to have another long squeeze, because the sentiment of the market is still too bullish, and they will do it, and we will see why. And we don't know why SpaceX just liquidated their Bitcoin positions, and who is next? That's the big question. So that's how it looks at the moment. Doesn't look that great, and Kingfisher is still making their upgrade, so no news there. And that's it. Let us go forward and check options, what they are showing us. So let us talk about options now. First of all, we can see that bulls are demanding 27Ks and bears are ready to fight and just to defend the 27K, indicating it's the bear's resistance. So we can push up a little bit more, hitting 27K, and then they will fight. They will really fight. Don't forget, you remember, 27K is the quarterly expiry for September. The max pain. You remember that? Max pain 27K? Well, we'll see. Anyway, if we check here forward, now the GAX is positive, indicating we have more space to the downside than to the upside. So we can push obviously more up. We had even a GAX of 250 and 270,000, but it's just indicating that we came from here with minus 45,000. We started to lift up, so we were negative. Even then today we were negative at minus 35,000, indicating we have more space to the upside than to the downside, and we started to lift up. So if we now go forward, we can see that for September, that's the quarterly, that's the most important after the December, obviously the end of the year expiry, that also have an expiry MX pain of 27K, for example. This one is the one of the most important, and it's in hands of bears with a put of 27K, indicating they will trade and try to push down the price lower than 27K if it's possible for them. So if we go forward and we see short strangle, custom strategy, reverse put calendar, and put calendar, we know short strangle is just indicating us, oh, I have short strangle here open, it's indicating us a price range, an expected price range. For example, we have here one who is playing with big money, who is expecting to see a price until end of March 2024, a price between 25 and 31K. While the second biggest trade volume here for an expiry of end of September, so the next quarterly one, they are indicating and expecting to see a price between 29 and 26. So when I see that they are expecting this kind of price range between 30 and 25, that's where miners, that's the comfort zone of miners and some institutionals like MicroStrategy. I don't know when SpaceX, I would say SpaceX was almost also in that price range. So maybe a little bit lower. Nobody really knows when they started to accumulate, if maybe they even started to accumulate in November or even in October 2020, for example. I at least I don't know it. But why to sell there? Why? That's a big question. I mean, maybe you would say, you missed the information. Alan said something about that, but you know. Anyway, custom strategies. Custom strategies, nobody knows what's behind because it's custom. But if we check here, nothing big. The only one that's relatively big is, for example, this. That's a multi-leg. And we can see that they bought two different trades here. So put 20K for the quarterly expiry in end of September. Then a call of 35K, and they sold a call of 30K. Maybe they are also just here, for example, saying that they are expecting to see a price between 20 and 35. Maybe they are expecting 30K. Not sure what exactly they are trading and expecting, because it's custom. We need to talk with this person, but we can't. So the reverse put calendar is really easy and usually not really useful. If we check here, for example, we see that they sold for end of March 2024 the put 25K. They are buying now the 25k put for end of October, indicating, at least if we check only their reverse put calendar, we can check that they are expecting to see likely a price below 25k until end of October, because it's a risky trade. You can imagine, and we need to see, because the next top trade or strategy is the put calendar. So they are doing exactly the opposite. The question is if they found an opportunity to keep the same puts, but to make a quick deal and to save some money or get some premium. So a premium deal could be possible, but at the moment it just looked like, for example, here's that's a big one, where it looks a little bit strange. We need to see what the put calendar is indicating. So we have here end of March 2024 and end of October for 25k. I guess we will see that again, yeah, or no. That's interesting. So they are expecting, because you can imagine when you're selling, for example, you put 25k for end of March 2024 and you are buying back now for October, means obviously your leverage will rise. It's a risky deal, at least more than if you have, for example, the March 2024 put. But if you know, or you are sure and you are expecting that the price will maintain that price and go even lower, then it makes sense. Because obviously with a higher leverage, more gain. And if we take here, we can see, for example, what will be the biggest one. The biggest one is that they are, for example, buying now the put 29k for August 26 and selling, what the hell, that was a zero deal. What could be here the reason to make such a deal? So to postpone, he's just postponing his put by 1 day for the same price. So he is getting just 1 day for free, reducing a little bit its leverage. Doesn't make sense. Well, maybe he's expecting a big nuke, just for example 25th and the night or something. Interesting trade. Well, and that's it. That's mainly it. So let us go forward. So who or what is the market driver? So what pair is driving the market right now? Well, we see that even the USDT pairs started to lift up and then they started to decline. While the USD pairs, well, we don't need to talk about BUSD, it's obvious what they are doing, but USD pairs also started here to lift up. Looks a little bit like they started to buy here, so they purchased here, now they want to lift up to distribute. So if we see 27k, it's going to be extremely interesting what happens. You remember where I said even 27.7 could be possible, a little bit lower, 27.5, because I would like to see a retest there and then go down once again. It would be at least a solid swing trade, and I like swing trades. We see that mainly Bitcoin collateral futures on the derivative side was the main initiator of this push up with spot, while Bitcoin stablecoin collateral futures are not looking that great. So if we go forward, we see now what BTC USD doing, using the opportunity just to sell more, and that's not that bad. I mean, they triggered the sell and they are distributing more, while the aggregated Bitcoin pairs are lifting up. Looks a little bit strange to me, a little bit too much. So if we go forward, that's where we see BUSD. We know what BUSD is doing. We can see now Bitfinex not buying that much, but at least indicating here, okay, we distributed enough, now let us buy a little bit. We need to see how far they want to to go. We see that Bybit is still in distribution mode. They are not really following here the price. Interesting. We see that Coinbase, for example, is now with USD pushing up the price. They started to buy here. The CBD is indicating 1,600 Bitcoins. CBD, that's a delta. It's a delta between buys and sells. So not that bad. If we check here, well, Bitstamp always the same. Bitstamp, obviously, they started to distribute, then they started to buy here, front running it. If we go forward, we can see, for example, also here, Kraken. Kraken did exactly the same, and I guess Gemini, that's the wrong setup. Wow, Gemini pushing up. I mean, it's not huge, but we are talking about 400 Bitcoins in CBD for Gemini. It's not that bad, absolutely not. So if we check here, that would be perp. I don't know why it didn't load the correct setups. Anyway, we had our POC here. You can see we shifted a little bit to the downside, recovered very well, and then we had the bigger candle here using us, something like bouncing and pushing up. Now we need to maintain. If we start to go down, we can bounce at 26 once again, or if we break, we will go down. So we need to see. And if we check the funding rate for the last 8 hours, it's almost negative or neutral. Only Deribit Bitcoin collaterals is indicating extremely bullish. They are pushing up, and that explains maybe a little bit our Bitcoin collateral futures chart, but everything else, Binance neutral, Binance BUSD was bullish, now neutral, was relatively bullish. So they are demanding here more shorts, while these are a little bit demanding a little bit more longs. And same here, for example, BitMEX bullish and Binance a little bit, and OKEX completely neutral, Kraken even shorting with Bitcoin collateral. So if we now go forward, here it is, our lovely charts to see what they are doing, and we can see not huge stable coins came in. Hello? Wow, what happened here? That's DAI. DAI received more stablecoins. 4.5 million. Not that bad. So we see the price is lifting up and USDT is cashing out more. So also here doesn't look that great. I don't know why USDC is taking that long now. Related to the entities at the moment, and nothing is happening, just a little bit here. The brown, they are the big ones who are declining, but nothing big happening. And USDC was, it seems, the main driver to push up the price. That could maybe also explain why Coinbase CBD was that positive, using for example, just a lot of USDC and fiat, and just to push up. And that's almost it. I mean, they are just sending here now, cashing out a little bit, but at the moment, it's the main driver, at least related to stablecoins. It looks more USDC than USDT. So if we check miners outflows, that was today. Currently 5,000 Bitcoins. It's not big. Yesterday with almost 11,000 Bitcoins, still less than the average of the few last weeks, but and now we need to see because every single time we are lifting up, it could explain they have this comfort zone and they are just selling at 30K. 29, 28, wherever. Fund holdings, wow. I mean, you remember here, I mean, we were here. We started, we pushed up once again, a lot of funds starting. They received, it seems, bigger demand. They start to buy Bitcoin, so they almost 11,000 Bitcoins until here, where I thought, at least, because it's still unclear for me, if MicroStrategy is, and I think they are, part of this chart. And now we can see from 696,000 Bitcoins, we are now 8,000 Bitcoins down. They are selling. They are selling. So if we go forward, that's our trading volume ratio. But yeah, it's lifting up, indicating, you know, spot doing a little bit better, but that's it. So let us go forward. So we see, for example, right now almost nothing. Nothing have changed. We see they are removing some liquidity here. Even here, they moved a little bit more up, 160 Bitcoins here, just to support a little bit the push up. And now they are here, and you can see what they are doing. So nothing really changed, to be honest. It's looking like, hey, we want to see you at 28K. Otherwise, we would expect 27.1. If we go to Bitstamp, wow, they removed a lot of sell orders to the upside at the moment, and even liquidity to the downside, while still waiting at 23.7, where they have the big bunch of liquidity waiting. If we take a look to Bitcoin, to Binance, BTC USDT, I mean, look that. It's a lot of liquidity waiting there, and right now also reinforcing 27K. So I can imagine from 27K, because they are right now, it seems, just preparing the next support area. So to push up, that's what they love to do. We are going to play a little bit there, then push up, going down, you know, maintaining here, and then we need to see maybe push up even more. That's a very common strategy. What they love to do is to create support areas. At the moment we have a resistance area here, so we can even go down once again to 26.2 before we go up. At the moment, that's how it looks like. So nothing also here, nothing big have changed. BTC TUSD on Binance, indicating they are also waiting at 27K. Some sell orders removing, so every exchange is almost doing the same with the different pairs. BUSD, a lot of liquidity to the downside, to the upside only waiting at 27.8 and even to 28, nothing or almost nothing at 27. Bitfinex, BTC USD, also here they were protecting that area. Also, if you check here, big protection at 26 at the moment. A lot of spoofing once again happening, but anyway, it looks like at the moment, nothing. Also here, nothing is happening. I just hate Bitfinex, Jesus. Nothing on OKEX. Kraken is here indicating we would like to see 28K. A lot of liquidity or sell orders, sorry, a lot of sell orders waiting there. Otherwise, their liquidity concentration is at 24 to 23.7. If we check here, for example, we see that we are on KuCoin expectation to see 25, even a little bit lower, now supporting with 74 Bitcoins at 26.3. That's almost it. BitMEX is also very interesting. Look, I didn't see that. They just triggered a lot of their buy orders and now lifting up as well. Also here a lot of algo crap, and now derivatives. On Bybit with BTC USD pair, nothing to see here. Only what we see is The price looks very, very nice following the futures. Also here, for example, that's now BTC USDT on Bybit, now BTC USDT on Binance, where they are waiting also here at 27, for example, to short, with DC ailing to 27.5, while they are removing here 25k, for example, some liquidity, and now also here 25.7, 25.5, and so on and so forth, waiting too long. Now BTC BUSD, they removed all the liquidity now, so it was just protecting, and they are protecting now with 558 bitcoins, now at 26.4. Is he said maybe becoming a little bit nervous because BNB is not looking that great? BTC per Bitfinex derivatives, also here Bitfinex, they triggered the long order and now they are pushing up. Okay, interesting. Kraken futures, also nothing to see here, and OKEX futures only here too long at 24.2, but nothing else. KuCoin futures would like to short at 28, so the second one, just imagine, go 28, then to go down to 27 again to match the, wow, Deribit, what are you doing? Look there, they want to short at 27.3 to 28. Jesus. So 28 is maybe 28 really, or just, oh, that would be nice, just to short at 28 and then go down to 27. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. Let us go to the, oh well, my personal conclusion. Yeah, it's part of it. So then, yeah, why not? Let us check what happens. I mean, for me, as just mentioned, 27,500 is the first milestone. And 27k anyway, we have here 26,870. I would say around that levels we can have a little fight. 27 is where the fight should be. Yeah, in you know, the big battle between bulls and bears, but we can go to 28 just really to retest that area where we have another support area, so to push up 28 and then go down back to 27, and then we need to see what happens here, but that could be maybe a nice trade to short at 28, to go down to 27 if you are using a relatively high leverage. Something I don't support that. I don't like that, but it could be easy money. We need to see. I mean, Friday is going to be the next analysis. Until Friday, we will see the expiry and what happens afterwards. Sometimes that's absolutely necessary to see what happens next. We will check that. Until then, keep cool, play safe, enjoy your life. Big love from Inspo. Inspo is back. Inspo is really back. I really feel much better now. And you will hear, you will see much more about me and about Phoenicia. Big love. See you, not tomorrow, Friday. It's so unusual. So, see you Friday. Big love.